Hello and welcome to the video. We are fresh off of recording this mystery Pentium 3 PC, and although I really should just start in on trying to make the various repairs and upgrades we need to do to this, I've been working on this PC for 3 weeks and I'm pretty done. So we're going to put this one away, and instead we're going to try something a little, well, hopefully a little easier. And that is this. Let me get you in here. This, if I can get it off. Oh, come on. I remember having trouble with this when I got it too. This is a pretty basic HP micro tower. I believe it's a DC5750. Yes, it is. This was given to us in one of our P.O. Box donations. And I forgot how filthy it was. My goodness. Now, usually these things have extremely bad capacitors. But I don't see any, which is extremely unusual. I have never seen one of these that didn't have bad capacitors. So, realistically, what that means is these capacitors will probably go bad pretty quick, even if they're not bad yet. So, let's go ahead and pop this out. Get all this stuff removed for the cleaning. Oh, that's nice. This looks like a 2.5-inch drive bracket, usually for mounting an SSD, or 2. It's got the HP specific mounts here. This would go like this. Usually there's 4. But that's okay. I literally have dozens of these just lying around. So this, unfortunately, does not come off quite so easily, so we're going to have to leave it. Yeah. It's just a Torx bit, but to be quite honest, I don't have one handy. How do I get this front off? I never remember how to get these fronts off. Oh, there's a... Yeah, let's get all of these out of here. Just so they're not flopping around. It occurs to me that before I do anything with this machine, I should probably see if it even works. It's got 2 sticks of 2 gig DDR2. That's kind of nice, actually. So let's grab a monitor. Before I start cleaning it, let's see if it even works. I think this has an AMD CPU. Of course, it doesn't say on the front, but I think that the XX50 was AMD. So let me get all the cables hooked up. Okay, all I need is a keyboard here. I'm actually going to use this as a shield because I don't want these popping up at me if those capacitors do go. What is it to get into the BIOS on an HP? Is it F2 or delete? Well, we get a screen. F10. It's F10. Drat. Okay. Try that again. I missed the prompt. This actually looks like it's probably in perfectly working condition. For now. I've had dozens of these machines. Still do actually have dozens of these machines. Those capacitors will not last. So we have an AMD processor model unknown. Okay, so I think I know what happened here. HP locked these things down crazy hard. So what we probably have here is like an Athlon X2 that is not supported by this board technically, but is socket compatible. I'm going to guess this is AM2. I do not think this is going to be socket 939, but I could be wrong. I haven't really dealt with these too much. So I think at this point we are going to want to clean it and then take it apart, see what we have. Oh. You don't think my wife's gonna get mad about this, do you? Nah, never. How do I get this off? Get out of there. Let's keep going. Jeez. It's still everywhere. That was, I believe, what we... How do I get this in? I believe that was what people in the industry call a bad idea. Why can't I get this power supply back in? Oh, come on. Okay. Power supply mostly in. And of course, HP likes to use, still dust floating around. HP likes to use Torx bits, but I don't have any batteries for my electric screwdriver right now. So we're gonna just do this. I forgot that. Oh, there's more behind it. I'll clean that up later. I don't feel like doing that right now. Okay. Watch, this ends up being some sort of Celeron. Or not, it's not Celeron, sorry. What was AMD's equivalent? The Sempron? Well, it is AMD. It is socket AM2. I need some paper towels to clean that. Uh-oh. Where's my paper towels? Tissue will have to do. Actually, that paste isn't in too bad condition. I was right, it is an Athlon X2. Looks like a Athlon X2 4200. Hey, that's not bad. Being socket AM2, I wonder if we could convince this board to take a first generation Phenom. I might actually have one of those lying around here somewhere. Gotta get that as clean as I can. Not that this cooler is really capable of such, and again, these capacitors will not last. Huh, genuinely surprised that I don't see any bad ones. Anyway, I guess let's get that. That's a lot more stuck. I don't have a brush next to me. Anyway, I don't feel the need to reseat this right now. That's a pretty capable dual-core CPU. This could be an excellent Windows XP machine. Could be a halfway decent Windows. What the heck is that? That's kind of weird. Anyway, as I was saying, this could be a pretty decent Windows XP machine, a halfway decent Windows 7 machine. This will run Windows 10 poorly unless we get more RAM in there and a graphics card. But here's the question. Is this PCI Express slot actually a PCI Express slot? Because a lot of the HPs of this era had fake PCI Express slots that simply acted as risers for the onboard graphics. So this one I think might actually be real. So let me grab a low-profile graphics card to throw in here real quick. Don't know what this is, but it's going in. Doesn't say on it anywhere. It's probably like a HD 3650 or something. It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to be functional to see if that slot actually works. So let's get some new thermal paste on that CPU. Oh, there we go. Wow, it didn't want to come off. Okay. This back on there. I will explore upgrading that CPU later. I'll have to look and see. Oh, get in there. I'll have to look and see if we can get a Phenom to work. I am certain that we will not get a Phenom 2 to work. But like I said, maybe a Phenom 1. Now the Phenom 1s are pretty bad. However, they do have 4 real cores compared to the 2 cores that are on this CPU. It's a thought. That's what it is. It's a thought. This CPU is quite a bit faster though, as the Phenom that I'm thinking of has like 1.8 gigahertz, I think. Good enough. Get this back on. And let's find a drive for this. Well, in the last video, somebody donated a bunch of SSDs, So I think we're going to take this 256 gig SK Hynix SSD, slap it right in here for use in this system. I mean, we've got the bracket after all, might as well put it to use. I'm not actually going to secure it in place though, because I do not think it to be quite necessary at the moment. There we go. Now we want power. I know you can't see very well, I apologize. There's two SATA cables that come included with this, which is super nice. Thank you very much for leaving those. Okay, SATA, power, and data have been connected. Time for the optical drive. Okay. Power. Data. That connection board's not looking so hot. Anyway, let us see, number one, if this card works, because I don't know if it does. Number two, we want to see if there's anything inside this CD drive. And number three, where's my power cable? We want to find out if there's anything on that SSD. There shouldn't be. The person who sent that in, I suspect, oh, I need DVI, that's right. Based on the number of SSDs that were sent in, the person who sent them was probably a professional and probably wiped all the data. You did wipe the data, didn't you? Anyway, let's find out. Still dust bunnies everywhere. That was such a terrible idea. Jeez. Okay, there's also another thing to consider. This motherboard might require me... Oh, no, we're good. We're good. Let's go to setup. Automatically updated. 256 gig SSD, CD-ROM drive. We'll go into setup, just might as well. Why do these colors seem off? This should be like, this should be white. I should probably replace that coin battery as well, but sure. I wonder if this graphics card has issues. It probably doesn't. We'll see. Now we find out if they forgot to... Okay, good. Non-system disk. That is good. Let me grab a copy of Windows XP. You know what? No. We know the machine works. If we're going to make this a gaming machine for Windows XP, I wonder if this card is going to be enough. 4 gigs is plenty. That is... Oh, shut up, menu. 4 gigs of RAM is plenty. The graphics card is going to be the only thing that holds us back. So, let me dig into my pile of goodies and see if I have any low-profile cards that don't suck. Well, I've got this GT730. That'll do. I like this card. It's only X8. It's weird. Oh, that is hot. Yeah, that's a hot CPU. Let's get this installed. Also, I found out that this does actually tell you what it is right on the front. It is a Dell branded ATI HD 4550. This isn't a bad little card. So this came out right around 2009. It's not terribly high-end, but it does have comparable performance to, say, an NVIDIA GeForce 8600 GS, give or take. It's a little worse than that, but this would be pretty perfect for, like, early 2000s gaming. But we have a GT730. Might as well put it to use. So I say, let's get XP installed and see what it can do. Well, it has been a few days. Always seems to happen that way, doesn't it? But, hey, we've got some more P.O. Box donations. This one's from a Mike Nightingale from Canada. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. And a lot of my Canadian friends aren't too happy with it. Neither am I, trust me. We've got, let's go ahead and close this now that that's finished. I want to get Dark Orbit also installed, but before I do that I have to get the stupid HP WebDriver installed. Next, agree, automatic. I do not wish for the Wild Tangent game channel. Shouldn't take too, oh, it's already finished. That's right, we've got an SSD. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that folder there. Password is open. Let's see. I think it's this one. Accept. Install. Okay. Damn it. Microsoft VM? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Install slower so I can open this. Jeez. Sure. Okay. Mike has sent us a 4 gig stick of DDR3. That is super awesome. I have trouble keeping DDR3, good DDR3 on hand. Another 4 gig stick. Is this all 4 gig sticks? Another 4 gig stick. And another. Mike, you're awesome. Thank you. Uh-oh. We've got more. Also, just as an aside, this computer with an SSD and Windows XP, surprisingly quick. Speaking of SSDs, this is a Rangiana. No, that's an F. The red part on top. Franjiang? Anyway, it's half a terabyte. That's awesome. Jesus, thank you. I know what this is going in. Stay tuned for that video. I'm not going to reveal too much until the very end, but we have a special one coming up. This looks like Ripjaw. I'll look at that in a moment. Yeah, it is Ripjaw. Okay. We have, is this HyperX? Who makes it? G-Skill, Ripjaws. PC3. Looks like these are also 4 gig sticks. These are nice. 1600, DDR3 1600, pretty quick. More 4 gig sticks. These SODIMMs. It is a single SODIMM. How big is it? Don't want to fling it. That is an 8 gig stick of DDR4 2400. I do not currently own any laptops new enough to use DDR4. The newest laptop I have has an i3 2120, I think. Actually, it's like right here. This is my personal laptop. It's a Lenovo ThinkPad. It's not going to tell me the model. It's an L530. So, that's my personal laptop if anyone's curious. Oh, It's a little bit newer than this Austin laptop, which I believe has an original Pentium 75 megahertz. Anyway, I will be getting a new laptop soon, I hope. Maybe. Probably this year. And having this, that might actually help me out, because I won't have to get something that already has memory in it. Oh, we have a note. And the note says, "Hey Matt, here's some DDR3 RAM for the channel. The SODIMM is DDR4. Hope you have some use for it." I will. The SSD is for your personal use. Thanks for all the great videos. Have a good one. Mike. Mike, I really appreciate you. Ooh, I think this is just anti-static bags. Yeah. I could really use these. I mean, anyone who's seen my channel for more than a few videos has seen the box of video cards. I can really use anti-static bags. I mean, yeah, I have a few things that could probably use proper protection. Okay. But of course, that's not the only donation we got. Thanks again, Mike. This one doesn't actually say who it's from. This is an Amazon package. Probably just rip this one open. What the heck is that? This looks like the wax paper from Fruit by the Foot. Dual M.2. Wait a minute, what? Dual M.2 to PCIe. This... How do I get this out of here? I want to look at this. Hey. Hey, that's cool. Okay. So, one of these is going to be for a SATA M.2, because there's a SATA port here, but there's no chips on this board. So this does not have an onboard SATA controller. Like the, I think I still have it sitting here somewhere. Where did I put that? There it is. So this is not like this. This has a SATA controller, so all four of these are SATA M.2. What this is a single SATA M.2, I think it's going to be this top one, and a single NVMe M.2. This is really cool. This is really cool. We're going to slide that back in here. This is almost too good for this channel. Looks like we have another one. Is that the same? It is. Hey, this is super cool. We're going to have to try these out. Surely it wouldn't work in something like this. We might test that. Not in this video, because we're already done with all the installation, but we might test that soon. Let me go ahead and get this stuff out of the way. Whoever sent this Amazon package, you are awesome. Thank you very, very much. Unfortunately, there's no note and there's no name, but I appreciate you. I really do. Whew. Okay. This computer has been one of the most pleasant experiences I've had in a very, very long time. It was filthy, still kind of is, but yeah, still got dust bunnies. It's just worked. I mean, most of the PCs that I work with, I have 5 or 6 different broken things I need to fix. I throw a graphics card in, the graphics card doesn't work, or there's a compatibility issue. Maybe there's gunk in the slot like in our last video. I've got bad fans, I've got bad hard drives. This has just worked. Which is really surprising because of those suspected bad capacitors. Now, they're not bad yet, obviously, but this line is notorious for those capacitors just shitting the bed. So, the fact that this is working as well as it is a very, very pleasant surprise. So, I have a lineup of games. I have Bandicam, which works with XP. Yeah, the NVENC encoder is available because we're using a GTX 730, sorry, GT 730. And I did want to point something out. You can pick up a GT 730 for about $10. And these PCs, the DC5750s, the 57 anything really, as long as you get one that has a real PCI Express slot, these go for like $5 to $10 all day, every day. So this is a $20 computer, effectively. Granted, we do have an SSD in there, so there are other things that do have costs, but there's nothing wrong with installing this on a hard drive. We just happened to have the SSD, so we're going to use it. But this could be a really, really good budget Windows XP gaming machine. So let's see just how well it can play these games. I have run into a little bit of an issue, and that's quite simply the fact that apparently Snappy Driver Installer installed the wrong driver for the sound. So no sound for us today. I could just go to the HP website and see if they still have the downloads page. They probably still do. They are reasonable about supporting their older systems. But for now, I think we'll just go ahead with some live commentary. First, where is Battle Engine Aquila? Here we go. I very much like this game. Let's see how high we can crank it with the GT 730. Options, video. I guess the maximum's 1024 by 768. Overall detail high. Yup, we do not want VSync. And yeah. Okay, now that I have remembered to start Bandicam so we can see the frame rate, let's try that again. Boy, the load times are great. Kind of just as I expected. Yeah, this has no trouble running this game. Yeah. Good stuff. We're hitting the engine limit of 75. Yeah, this is fine. I hate this monitor. Let's move on to the next game. We are on the highest settings at 1440 by 900. Oh, come on, I hate this screen. Okay. Let's see how we do there. Skip the tutorial. Yep. Now this game, I believe, has an engine limit of 80 FPS. I need to get a different monitor. Sure. Huh. We're actually not hitting 80. Looks pretty locked at around 45. Acceptable. Around 40. I'd say that's pretty good. My own skills notwithstanding. Yeah. I'd play this. Bouncing back and forth between 30 and 45-ish. It responds well. That's all that really matters. Yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Once again, we are at the highest possible settings. Okay, let's try and see how this works out. Sure. I'm expecting good performance out of this. This game still looks pretty good. Oh my god, this monitor is driving me insane. Yeah, we're at a solid 250 frames per second. Oh, flat cannon. I will take that, thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, this is more than fine. Yoink. Yeah. Looks like we're bouncing mostly around between 250 and 350, so acceptable, I would say. I need some health, though. Okay. I could play this game forever. I need to move on to the next game. Okay, so this game actually shows the frame rate, so we don't technically need Bandicam, but we're gonna stick with Bandicam because it's easier to see. So, anti-aliasing, yes. I think we do have something better than the GeForce 5600. Let's see, resolution 1440 by 900. I'm amazed that it supports widescreen resolutions. Visual detail as high as it will go. Yeah, that's it's too easy just to get off the ground here. Cutscenes are stuck at 30. That's expected. I don't know if there's an engine limit in here, but I don't think we're going to hit it. This game is surprisingly hard to run. So let's start a new company. Get something going here. Come on. There we go. Boston. Get some track going. Yeah. Just want to test how this will work. We want to lock to the train. And here we go. 25 frames per second. Again, we are on the maximum settings, and Railroad Tycoon 3 isn't actually that easy to run. You can run it on absolute potatoes, but when you've got this kind of quality settings, I mean, you've got trees way out to the horizon. This is pretty good. I suspect that once you've got more trains and more cars and all that, it would probably drop down pretty low, but honestly, this is pretty good. I'd play this. A nice cinematic 24 frames per second. Of course, when you zoom out and it crops out some of the trees where I saw 100, but yeah. We'll take that. That's a win. Now let's move on to our last game. And this is the only reason that I really wanted the sound to work. So let's see how high we can go. 1440 by 9. Ooh, 75 hertz. This screen can do 75 hertz. Let's try that. Huh. That's awesome. Frame rate. No VSync. Yes, yes, hi. Okay, I guess there's not a whole lot more we can do to make it faster than that. Oh, I'm gonna have to do the... I'm gonna have to do the tutorial. Let's skip the tutorial. I'll just stop recording and get that out of the way. I don't think we're gonna have any trouble with this. We're at we're at 200 frames per second on in the tutorial, so let's get to some action. Oh, and for the record, the only reason why I'm not trying to just go to HP's website and download the drivers and fix the audio, my flash drive broke. I really wish the audio worked. Why does it look like my animations are playing at like 10 frames per second? Yeah, he died at 10 frames per second, but we're getting 200 frames per second. Is this an engine problem? This might be. You know what we're gonna do? Yeah, that's weird. Okay, let's down to 60 hertz with VSync. We were getting well over 100 frames per second, so I think we have established the performance of the GT. Hello? It didn't save my settings. VSync. Okay. 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 And okay. That's a lot better. Okay. Okay, so that was an engine problem. It perhaps just getting too high of a frame rate. Oh my god. I get it. Jesus. Well, yeah, this runs great. This is a great little Halo box. Okay. And that's the last game that I've got to test today. Well, there you have it. I'd say that's pretty good. Super, super happy with this machine, and super happy with how much this would cost someone else to build the same thing. This will play just about any game from the Windows XP era. Maybe not at the highest settings, as we saw with Railroad Tycoon 3, but it'll play them really, really well. And of course there is still the audio issue that I need to fix, but that's just me needing to go to the store to buy a new flash drive. So this is a pretty good machine. Anyway, with that said, I think it's time for us to go. So if you liked the video, please leave a like down below. Leave a comment as well, letting me know what you would have done differently, or if you just disagree with me, which, valid. There is still the capacitor issue that will crop up, probably sometime in the near future if I continue to use this machine. The proper thing to do would be to preemptively replace all the capacitors, but I'm not the kind of guy to spend money on stuff like that. Money's hard to get, so... Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really hope that this was at least entertaining, hopefully educational, and I will see you in the next one. What is the next one, you ask? I did promise a teaser. This entire video, I've been harping about the capacitors in that machine. Well, this is what they might end up looking like. Nice and bulgy. Luckily, I have just enough capacitors on hand to replace these 5, and we might have ourselves a really, really nice micro ATX socket 478 board. So this, I think, will be what we tackle next. Stay tuned. And of course, before we go, I do want to thank my Patreon members for helping to support everything that I do here. For ISA tier, we've got Z Burke, Shane, Roger, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, Josh Hartman, Jarl Andre, Flo Kala, Dr. Larks, Brandon Ford, and Adam. For the PCI tier, we have Hayden Bent and Glenn King. Thank you guys. For the AGP tier, we have Sean Patrick, Pefty Lefty, still a legend, David Starbuck, Daniel Pate, Daniel Covert, Carly Dunlop, and Bjorn Toft. Seriously, thank you very much. I couldn't do this without your support.